Hello everyone, my name is Sparrow. I'm starting out here and I'm new to the YouTube game, but I hope you guys enjoy my content because I hope to upload regularly on the daily, hopefully multiple times if I'm able. Content will mainly be focused on the comic book industry and the broader geek culture. I am not alone when I say that I think the past was better than the present when the entire industry wasn't being hijacked by these Marxists and social justice warriors, and when a good story was a good story featuring timeless themes that connect to everyone. Like, you can actually read a comic from like the 80s and it doesn't feel dated at all. Meanwhile, I don't think we can say the same about the shit that gets published today. I'm tired of having our entertainment be hijacked by these far left ideologues who don't see the opportunity they're given to tell a story, but just a means to push far left identity politics and agendas down all of our throats, pushing politics embraced only by a vocal few. It just ruins the fun of entertainment. Like, it's not even entertaining anymore. And so I figured I would comment on all of this and hope I can provide some entertainment of my own. So who am I exactly? Well, I'm an aspiring writer myself. I actually once had dreams of getting my own comic published by Image, because Image was once the place to be if you were an independent. Not the case anymore, sadly. In fact, none of the real independent companies on the direct market can be described as such, with a few exceptions, and now I'm looking for alternative ways to get it made. I started this channel in part to do a lot of things. I wanted to cover comic books. That's my main niche. It's my main thing I'm going to do because I enjoy the craft. I enjoy stories, but thing is, I have a hard time reading prose novels. I'm a visual person, so I became naturally attracted to comic books. As for what all I intend to do, I intend to cover various comic book topics, report on recent developments, do reviews, and hopefully share with you some of my ideas for my stories, which I hope to use crowdfunding for sometime in the near future. I'll admit freely, when I first started this channel, the main intention was to build a platform for which I could promote my Indiegogo projects. There's a lot more to it than just that. I have a lot on my plate, and let's just say you can't really vent in a lot of comic book communities because they're right in the comic bros pockets. I'm sure you all know which ones I'm talking about. However, I've been following this on YouTube for, well, several years now, just as an observer. People like your boy Zach and Just Some Guy, Nerdrotic, Geeks and Gamers, EVS, the like. People who actually say the things that people want to hear, not what gets shilled out by the corporations that are more interested in promoting identity politics and agenda and feeding into this idea of the toxic fans as opposed to the toxic press. I swear, we have the most evil press. And really, it's a shame that these utter psychopaths have completely taken over comic books, such a normal person hobby for normal people, and they're ruining it out of spite. I just can't believe that people are willing to accept this situation because, quite frankly, it's just disgusting. I realize I'm a bit late when it comes to joining this party. After all, just imagine the kind of gold I could have covered if I joined a couple years earlier. But better late than never. As for my preferences with comic books, well, I've always preferred Marvel. Something about the characters and the universe, just the style always stuck with me. So, as you can imagine, the era of SJW Marvel is especially hard pill to swallow. I've held to the idea that Marvel could be saved. I liked the thought, but by this point I wonder if it's even worth saving because of all the damage that's been done. I'm honest now, I kind of hope on some level that the collapse of Marvel Comics, which I view as basically inevitable at this point, happens soon enough, because then maybe, just maybe, the IPs, the whole property, could be licensed out to people who actually know how to tell stories and actually want to. That's a dream right there, because quite frankly the reality is unsettling, but it's the reality we live in. I do not foresee Marvel Comics in its current state being a thing in just 3 years from now. In fact, I'm probably highballing that prediction. And it's for one simple truth. you can only lose money and fail for so long before there are consequences. And Marvel Comics as a company is one that has benefited so much from having its other branches perform so well, notably Marvel Studios. They had Disney dollars being able to keep them afloat. However, all things must end, and that has ended now, considering that Disney is just utterly falling apart. And, well, I'll be chronicling this story as it goes along. Hope I do a good job. Outside of Marvel, obviously I like other comic books. I mean, I like DC, not to the extent of Marvel, of course, but I very much enjoy certain properties in it, like Batman. No surprise there. I also really like the Teen Titans. That's a big one for me. And I enjoy Green Lantern and Wonder Woman. Not a big Superman guy, but I do appreciate him for what he is. And I like Valiant as that alternative to them big two. And of course, there's Image. I used to really like them as well, until they became this whole company for Netflix pitches and a closed group of friends with the same political views. Basically, a place where SJW Marvel creators can go to pitch their Netflix ideas, as opposed to telling new and interesting stories in the most stylistic way possible. Is it any wonder there has been no hit indie comics on the direct market for the last few years? None of them stand out. And that's because they're not made to actually be comic books. And that's a shame as well. Why do we have an industry that's ashamed of itself? Well, there's actually multiple reasons for that, but let's just say they don't have faith in their own concept. And they don't know what you can do with good, non-politically charged comic books that are made to be entertaining rather than preachy. They just don't see it any other way. These are all topics I will be covering soon enough, and more. This was just an opener to give you an idea what I'm about. I hope I entertain you guys, and I hope you like what you see. Until next time, this is Sparrow signing off.